Saying that.
Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines.
Ambush.
Gentlemen, just before we get started, I need to ask you to do something.
Ooh. Yes.
I need you to take your right hand and I want you to put it on your heart.
No chance.
No, do it.
No.
Humour me. Do it.
No, I need
Do
to know
it.
what it is. No.
Do it.
No.
I want to ask you to be unbiased and fair tonight. So what you're telling me is, by not doing, you're not prepared to be unbiased and fair.
Steve, I will be unbiased and fair tonight.
Unbiased and fair.
Okay, so we're not talking
Did
about
you have
Greg
fingers
Inglis.
crossed?
No, I didn't look. Unbiased and fair.
Yeah. I don't trust them. Welcome to tonight's show, gentlemen. How was your weekend? Easter weekend? Been a great weekend?
Great
Enjoy
weekend.
it?
Oh,
Yes.
so many eggs. Oh, so many eggs.
But are they all gone?
Oh, there's no way humans can't eat that many eggs.
You know what? Actually, there was a thing on Facebook today that said that parents should eat their children's eggs because it helps them with childhood obesity.
Very true.
So you're doing your bit to help your children.
But their parents will die of obesity, and their kids won't be there. So
Who won't sacrifice themselves for their kids? Brian's doing that.
Is this a football show? I thought this was a football show.
It is.
Anyway.
We're discussing football. Football's around. They're
It's
like
an
an egg.
Easter. Tom,
What's-
how are you?
Moving on. I'm good, thank you.
I'm glad.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Oh, I'm not organised. I haven't got my phone with me.
Where is it?
Okay, it's somewhere, so I don't even know what games to start with.
That's all
Okay,
right.
we're doing round 6 of the NRL, and the
We are.
first game
Sharks
was,
versus
Sharks, Panthers at Shark Park.
and the score was.
24-20
I'm
to
gonna
the
have to find
Sharkies.
it some way to do this.
After the Panthers went out to a 20-0,
It was
20...
14 nil.
14-0.
14 nil.
And
And then the Panthers scored. And then it was 20-6. And then they lost.
Unbelievable.
Bradley, what's doing?
So
I got nothing. It was, you know what? I must admit, I watched a lot of footy this weekend. My wife is a very loving, generous woman.
we know that.
And I watched a lot of football this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like every game from start to finish.
You're a hero, Kayleen.
Yes.
And apart from one game, they were all incredibly close. And I kept thinking, wow, this is the game of the round. Wow, this is the game of the round. And it was every game was like that. It was fantastic. It's good to have good, close football. But that said, the Panthers should not have lost that game.
No, not at 14. I mean, honestly, I don't think the Sharks were that spectacular, to be honest with you, even coming back. But for some reason, the Panthers just switched off, and that killed them.
Well, the coach must be shaking his head, scratching his head, wondering what's going wrong.
Oh, there's a lot of talk. I've been not only have I been watching a lot of football, I've been reading a lot of the rumour websites.
Oh, okay. So you got the goss first.
I've got the goss. The goss is James Maloney is not happy, and that's why the team is not firing.
Well,
Apparently, the latest rumour out, apart from the gigantic amount of money that the Panthers have wasted on coaches, is that before Maloney signed with Penrith, he actually had a chat with the then coach, Anthony Griffins, and had a long discussion about players and how they perform and where they should be and what they should be doing on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So he was basically an on-field coach. I guess similar to the role that Cooper Crunk's currently playing at the Roosters.
Yeah.
Ivan Cleary's come on board and said, no, this is our structure. And apparently Maloney is very unhappy over there.
And it's probably doubly worse because his offsider is the coach's son.
Yeah.
Which probably doesn't help.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's a lot of disharmony over at Penrith at the moment.
Well, I guess the one person that's happy about that's Phil Gould because all the focus is off him.
Well, yes, and since he was the one who didn't want Ivan Cleary to come back, apparently, he wanted Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think Britton Nakora is a real standout. He's sort of just rising in the ranks. He's been terrific. Every game I've watched them play, he's been a standout.
Yep.
Guy on debut,
Bronson.
William Kennedy.
Oh, the fullback?
He debuted at fullback.
Yep.
He did nothing wrong that night. He was solid.
Yep.
He had some sharp passing. He was impressive. And
Absolutely.
Jerry, who might be overrated, I don't know, but they said that he's going to be fantastic. Well, he had an opportunity to show just the
He had an
speed that he
opportunity to
had.
show his speed, yeah.
He had some speed, my
And
goodness.
didn't he what?
Yeah.
He didn't stand up a slouch. He stood up Dallin.
With Tenny Zalesniak.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I'm not saying any names. I'll say their first names. You can do the rest.
No, it was pretty impressive. Yeah,
Stood him up
so-
and made him look slow,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
impressive in itself.
Yeah, I tell you what, people don't like Andrew Fafita, but my goodness, he is a good player.
Look,
He's a
he
tremendous
does a lot
player.
of work.
With some kind of knee injury, his offloads were sensational, and he's central to that team, isn't he?
Do we think? The Sharks aren't the Sharks of last year.
No,
They don't seem to be hitting their straps. I mean, a lot of us would have picked them in their in the eight. Do you think they're going to make it?
They'll be fringe, I think. I
think-
don't know when they get Wade Graham back. He's going to be important.
Yeah.
Well, but then you see, this is the problem with the Sharks is that you've got Britton Nakora, Kurt Capewell, and Scott Sorensen. So they've got 4 good back rowers there, and then you've got to slide Wade Graham in.
Oh, look,
Somebody's not going to be happy.
I think Capewell and Sorensen are average first graders at best. Honestly, I do. Honestly, I think they're not standouts. Yeah, well, you can give me that look if you want, but
I am giving you that look
I
because
watched it for the last 2 games, and I just thought, I think part of their weakness is that their backs just aren't up to scratch, and I don't think Pryor's doing that great either.
No, I think Matt Pryor's probably a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But Kurt Capewell's had a number of clubs chasing him now.
Yeah.
Apparently offering him double what the Sharks are.
Really?
So
Okay, well, he hasn't impressed me. I'm sorry,
I'm just saying. I actually think that's a pretty
but Manly would take him basically.
Man, they take anyone at the moment.
no, not a back rower
So, Brian, I need a jersey. Where do I go
to wear.
to buy a jersey?
For any jersey,
I need any
NRL jersey.
We need some more jerseys for the wall.
Well, then,
Where do
Steve,
I
I
go?
think you should head on down to Guy Stuff.
Where's
Really?
Guy stuff?
Guy Stuff's in Windsor.
Tell Tom all about it.
Tom,
This jersey came
Oh.
from Guy stuff in Windsor.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, they sell those as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one with the premiers on.
They do sell some horrid stuff at Guy Stuff, like novelty
Excuse
toilet
me,
paper.
horrid stuff. You're
Okay,
saying
so all right, let's get back to this.
They
So
know
where's
it, don't you
Guy
worry. Windsor, Main
Windsor?
Street Mall, Windsor, or Narellan,
Or online,
or online, of course.
and you can get anything there, right?
Anything at all NRL
Sports
related.
related.
Actually,
Yes.
Or sports
I must
related.
admit,
There's lots of
I go
different
in there a
things.
lot.
Some
Every
great
time I
stuff
go
there.
past, I
Yep.
say to my wife, "Let's go to Guy Stuff." She said, "No."
Yep.
Anyway,
My wife says the same thing.
So go and see Darren. He's there on Sundays.
yes. Okay, let's move on to Good Friday.
Nice segue there.
The first
I
game.
didn't get it though. He was too clever for me. Sorry, yeah, first game on Friday.
The first game on Friday, Bulldogs against the Bunnies, and the Rabbitohs win 14-6. And this was probably the worst game of football, entertainment-wise, all year.
Oh, I'll tell you what impressed.
It was.
It's a big call from you.
Oh no, what it was. I mean, the Dogs just laid all over, and the ref just let them, and then would give South a penalty when they laid all over.
Oh, please, that's just so biased.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah,
Mate.
well, he started out being gracious, and then he just
Yeah,
wins.
just slammed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, we all know you're a Bunnies supporter, and you guys got away with
I don't
it.
know how you know that at all.
But let me tell you, you know who was particularly impressive in that game was that Lachlan Lewis.
Oh yeah, he's quality.
Look, I don't know whether he's going to be, a superstar or anything, but he just continued to harass Sam Burgess.
He tackles
Yeah.
above his weight. Absolutely.
And I don't know.
Fantastic.
Let me just tell you, I don't know many normal people who would say, "Hey, there's Sam Burgess. Let's go and put a hit on him." But he was under his
many
skin.
normal people wouldn't do that. So
No,
that
normal
might say
people
something
don't.
about him.
Yeah.
He just did not stop. He harassed Sam Burgess for the entire match,
Yeah.
and I think that probably went a long way to South's frustration.
No, yeah, but every commentator, and you guys obviously don't watch a game, because every
I
commentator
didn't watch the game, obviously.
commented
We weren't there.
on how slow the Dogs were how much they slowed South down. And you know what? If that's part of the deal, if that's part of the game, then that's fine. But every other game, they would have called them to get up quicker, to get up quicker, to get up quicker.
They worked out
even when Sam Burgess complained about it, the ref ignored it and brushed him off.
The refs let them get away with it, so they just used it to their advantage.
Can I just say the average play the ball speed for South Sydney was 3.76 seconds, as opposed to 3.33. So less than a half second.
It makes a difference.
Less than a half second.
It makes a difference.
There was no score after the 25th minute. That says a lot about the game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look, it was an average game.
I think you're being kind.
I enjoyed it.
From a South Sydney fans' perspective, I didn't enjoy it.
No, like I said, the Bulldogs are sitting in last place. South's sitting at the very, very pointy end of the ladder. And to continually take it to them and get under their skin and stay in the game,
that part I
continually.
Enjoyed, yeah,
that was another arm wrestle game, and I actually enjoyed it.
I mean, the Dogs played the same way they did against Melbourne 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
Yep.
And hey, if it works for them, that's great. And by the way, you guys were there sitting there watching it with me, and the ref's boss agreed that try by the Dogs should not have been allowed, which not allowed.
What was that again?
The forward pass one.
No.
No, that was your one.
The one where they pushed.
And your one. Your one again.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
No, the one where they took out a South player going for the ball.
No, please.
It was never a try.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you won. Take your 2 points.
Okay, let's move on to the other game.
The
other game down in Melbourne, where the Storm played the Roosters, and the Roosters won 21-20. And Tom, I will concede that this was probably the best game of the year so far.
Yeah, look, I was disappointed that the Roosters let the Storm back into the game. First
20-0, I would have been too.
First 29 minutes was absolutely sensational. I mean, actually, the first 15 minutes it was an arm wrestle, but those 3 tries that the Roosters put on just gives me a lot of confidence that they can actually attack this year, because last year the attack was terrible. The Storm showed why they're the Storm and why they're so good in their ability to come back. And Cameron Smith, unfortunately, was a big part of that. He just shows his class. But the thing I really liked was for 30 minutes it was an arm wrestle, and the Roosters didn't let them get the ascendancy, which was really pleasing. Now, in the end, we've all talked about Golden Point. We could have lost that game and I would have been disappointed. We won that game. I was happy. I mean, either way, it could have gone either way. It was a sensational play and a great dummy from, that was a set-up play at the end of the game. They talked about it and said, right, you're getting the ball, Latrell, but Cronk's going to dummy and pretend he's going to get it. It was a genius play and it paid off. Yeah. And that run was also a fortunate run by the Satili Tupanua. Second game in first grade. He's rangy, he's tall, he doesn't look like he's got a lot of power, but man, he broke that line and set him up for the field goal. It was great. Yeah. Very entertaining game.
What did you think of the Storm?
I'm waiting for the Storm to click into gear, to be honest.
Well, certainly not, are they?
I mean, it's in saying that you win 5 out of 6, and you're waiting for them to kick into gear. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good indication of how good the team is.
Yeah.
But they just, it's all hype, and I know it's only 6 rounds in, but there's only been one form team of the comp, and that's the Roosters. Everyone else is a half step behind them. Yeah. Now I don't know why that is. I don't know why. I don't know why the Storm haven't put it together after 6 rounds, but premierships aren't won this early on. But certainly the Roosters are easily setting the pace of the competition at the moment.
MG said, Mark Geyer said that he worries that the Roosters have peaked too early.
I hope so.
Everybody does.
Everybody? You too?
No, I just see that they're trying to learn from their mistakes. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of ability, but they're just not putting it together for 80 minutes.
I think it'll be a good indication after this week's game.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that the Roosters were going to come out with the intensity that they did.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can they do it now twice in a row?
Yep, sure.
Because St George, while they're probably not Melbourne, they're certainly firing, and their defensive wall is fabulous. Mm. The Dragons' defence at the moment is great. So it'll be interesting to see. And
we're on a fairly tough run. Admittedly, the Broncos didn't offer as much as we thought they would. The Sharks are always difficult at Shark Park. Then we had Melbourne, got the Dragons, and we've got the Tigers now who are going to be hurting.
Yeah.
So and then we've got the Raiders after that. So, it doesn't get any easier.
All right. Let's move on to Mount Smart Stadium where the Cowboys beat the Warriors 17-10.
I didn't tell you to pick them, Steve. I did not tell you to pick the
I swear
Cowboys.
last week I picked the Cowboys and you guys gave me your usual, it's a Brisbane team, he's picking them. And
No, you said you were picking the Warriors because they were at home, the same as the rest of us. I just followed you.
I have video, do you?
Yes.
You're going to have to show it to me.
This is my one flaw.
Look at NRL from the sidelines on YouTube, and you'll see that I'm clearly following your lead here.
So you can go back and watch old shows, can you?
Oh, you certainly
NRL from the
can.
Sidelines on YouTube?
Absolutely.
Now, didn't you text me and said you talked me out of the Cowboys?
Oh, I said the same
it to
thing
you
to
both.
me.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right. One flaw in my tipping this week. Unfortunately.
Well, Tom not bragging about a perfect round.
Oh, I didn't get one.
I only got one wrong.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it like that. It looks silly.
I think you do.
The Warriors, gentlemen,
Sorry.
focus.
Yes,
Focus.
I'm back.
The Warriors are just... They're the Warriors of old again.
The Gumps.
They just... You don't know which team you're going to get.
Well, they should have put the Cowboys away. That was disappointing.
And let me ask you about Adam Blair.
Well, there was the article about that in Fox.
Yeah.
On Fox.
I didn't read it.
He's got he got $2.4 million for 3 years.
Yep.
And he's completely underwhelming.
He does a lot of... I want to call it dumb, but he's too big, so I don't want to chase me down the
grubby
street. But
things.
yeah, but
well.
he gives away a lot of penalties that he shouldn't do. Just dumb penalties. I don't know.
Yeah, look,
he's certainly not earning his wage. There's no doubt.
look, he went big money to the Tigers and failed miserably.
Yeah.
Then went to Brisbane because they threw him a lifeline.
Yep.
Played fantastically. The Warriors then went and made a big money offer, and he hasn't lived up to it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
And he tends to be niggly. He tends to be a bit grubby. Yes. So
Do you see anything in the Cowboys coming back?
I only watched the
top eight?
highlights of this game, so you only see the best bits. Really, I don't know.
You get on a football show, you're not supposed to be admitting to that, right?
Well, you have a life outside of football, you know.
Who's their coach?
Oh, sorry, did I blaspheme then?
Yes,
you did. What's his name? Green.
Blake Green.
No, Paul Green.
Paul Green,
The coach. Yeah. What? Jeez, I was going to say. Don't confuse me there.
Easily confused.
A couple of interviews with him during the week, and it was all about big Jason Tamalolo coming back.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot riding on him. A lot.
Yeah. Too much, I think, for one guy.
Well, they don't... Jordan Kahu was good. Probably his best game so far for them. But overall, they weren't impressive. And saying that, they beat the Warriors, who should have won.
Yeah.
And half of the Warriors' score was just an individual brilliance of Roger.
He was the best player on the field.
Oh, he always is.
Just about, yeah.
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 He'll be getting on. He could be Dalian Player of the Year again because he wins. He gets 3 points every week.
Wow, every week. He was good. Really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Two boring teams.
Okay. You might have to hold Brian down for the next one.
Yes.
Win Stadium, Dragons and Sea Eagles. Dragons win 12-10.
Yes.
This was a good game. I've got to say for a
it was a
team
good game. Yep.
And I'll put my hand up here and say for the team that I picked for the Wooden Spoon, they are performing exceedingly well.
Sure. Yep. And they had some outs, didn't they?
I said
Tom, Adden, Vanilla Blake.
Depth is the issue, and we don't have any. And so you take 3 internationals out of that team, and you're left with not a lot.
Who's the third?
Dylan Walker.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and that's, and realistically, like, Brad Parker had his best game for us.
Except for the trip.
We won't talk about that. Brad,
Well, we're going to
even in saying that, he still had his best game for us.
Yeah, he did have a good game. There's no doubt.
But with no Tom, no Dylan Walker, there just doesn't seem to be a try scoring ability in those that are left, and I guess it's the way that it goes. You know, you take Latrell Mitchell out of the Roosters, and all of a sudden you're left with 50% less scoring capacity.
Yeah, and he was also a goal kicker too. I think Cherry Evans has really stepped up.
He's playing well.
I think he has for the last couple of years, but this year the results seem a little bit more his way.
But then, so did Ben Hunt.
Oh yeah,
both of them had an exceptional game.
Yes,
and you know, I said to you earlier, I just think the Dragons are really shaping up as one of the contenders this year. Mm-hmm. You know, because they're starting to play full 80 minutes.
Yeah, the defence is good, and that's important.
Defence is brilliant.
Yeah,
you know, and years gone by, their defence has always been good, but their attack is just flat. But now they seem to be able to put both together.
Corey Norman making a big difference there, do you think?
He must be. Yeah, and Widdop's out of the team. Let's remember.
Maybe he's taking pressure off Ben Hunt.
Widdop's out of the team. Remember too.
Oh, they were hindered by Widdop though. They were hindered having three playmakers in the team.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I think Matt Duffy is playing really well.
Yep.
And he offers that speed out of fullback that you just don't usually get.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's a painful loss, but I think having your best playmaker at fullback is probably wasn't a good move.
Yeah.
So I'll say it again because I got talked over. Ben Hunt is playing well because Corey Norman's taking the pressure off him. Do you think that's the case? Because he's not having to be the central person.
Hang on, we agreed with you.
No, agree with him. But anyway, yes, I agree with you. I do.
I think he's made a huge difference.
Yeah. So listen, I'm not going to ask him because he's totally biased.
Yep.
The last play of the game, should Manly have got a penalty?
Personally, I think yes. Yeah, because last night Bill Harrigan said that that was completely allowed for the man to run in and stop. But to me, that just seems wrong to be able to stop and say, I'm stopping here with a distinct idea of getting in the way of this player.
I'm not sure that he ran and stopped. I thought he stopped.
You watch it. He stopped.
He stopped.
Yeah.
But he didn't just stop in one space. He then stopped and leant.
Leaned
and then put himself into that play.
So you're thinking it should have been a penalty as well?
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah.
Especially when earlier in the game they picked up the trip that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And it was nowhere near the try line, and the ref said, "Stop the game.
We've got no try.
Let's go and have a look at it."
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to start doing that, then we're back to the bad old days of looking at everything.
Yeah, that's more where I was going to go with it. Was it a penalty? Yes. You know what? But can I just say, Manly were expected to finish in the bottom 2 or 3.
Yep.
The Dragons were expected to finish somewhere at the top 4 or 5. We are going pace for pace with teams that are going to finish in the 8.
Long way to go yet. I mean, it's a bold
At the moment, like I said, it's only round 6.
Yeah.
We had plenty of opportunity to win, and they didn't take those chances while they were there.
Yeah.
So, be it Dragons' defence or a little bit of lack of experience in our backs, which I'll get to that in a minute. I've got something to say a bit later on about that.
Okay.
But to go back for a no try when they were 4 or 5 metres off the try line, and then because the ref wanted to check something, I found that appalling.
Yeah. I agree.
Do I think it was a trip? Well, I'll put my maroon and white glasses on and say no, but the ref should have made that call on the field. If you call it a trip, if you didn't call it a trip, go for it. Make your mind up.
Yeah.
You know what? And supporters, we live with that. But when you go to the video ref and then you don't go to the video ref, that's the inconsistency I don't like.
Okay.
Well played, Dragons.
Sure.
Yep.
One last thing.
Yes.
They've got to get a goal kicker in that team. I think Zach Lomax should be starting. That's my unbiased opinion.
As goal kicker?
He should be starting in the team. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Put him on the wing, put him in the centres, put him somewhere in the team.
Find a place.
Because they need a goal kicker. They missed 3. They missed 3.
And tell us what you think, Barry. Were in front.
Yeah. Like, kickable. Like, even, maybe Tom kickable. My knees are too old.
Have you ever seen him kick a football?
No.
I didn't play the
I might
game.
want to go back to your bad news.
I didn't play the game. You know.
Okay,
Grew up
let's
All right.
Seabus Super
League
Stadium.
City.
Seabus Super Stadium, where the Titans absolutely smashed the Knights, 38-14.
Oh, this wasn't a good game.
No.
Sorry, when I said they were all good games apart from one, this was the game that I thought, oh my goodness, this game is terrible.
Yeah, Knights were awful. They dropped a lot of ball, and the Titans made the best of it, absolute best of it. I mean, they scored 2 or 3 tries from errors, you know, and it wasn't like near the line. It was they had to run half the field at least.
So where are the Knights, gentlemen? I think we all picked them in the 8, and we
Well,
all
some people
thought
talk
they
about top 4.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to be top 4, but they've got a team that should take them into the top 8.
Yeah, they're just not firing.
Yep. I got nothing. I don't know. Nathan Brown's got to go. He has got to go.
I was going to ask you, is that the thing? I mean, that's a big call. He's built this team.
Yeah, he has. I've been saying it since probably round 3. When they played Manly, he's come out and he said, and he actually looked like he had no idea how they were going to score points. Yeah, you know, if I am a person sitting here on a lounge watching from the sidelines the game, and the coach comes out and says, "Oh look, I don't know where our points are going to come from."
Yeah,
You kind of go, "You're the coach." Well, imagine what the players
you
are
should know where
thinking.
the points are going to come from.
Well, Brownie said in the press conference that he said that they asked some questions. This is his words. Asked some questions, but their late tackle options were terrible. That was his view of the whole thing.
I don't get it. I mean, apart from probably a hooker, that team's really good.
Yeah.
You know, and no offense to Denny Levy, he's not a bad player.
No.
But, you know, Kalen Ponga, Connor Watson, Mitchell Pearce.
Well,
you know, actually rate those 3.
Well, we all agreed at the beginning of the year that the Ponga experiment at 5'8" wasn't working.
Yep.
And we all said, let's move him back to fullback, and that should then fire the team.
He was their best player.
Well, yes, I know, but still the team is not firing. They're doing nothing.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for the Knights.
Yeah.
Because the coach is sitting there scratching his head.
Yeah, look, I'll be surprised if they have too many more losses. I think I'll be surprised if he lasts.
They're going to have somebody lying in wait.
There are a number of good coaches around. Trent Barrett.
Too.
Oh, they can have. Please take Trent Barrett. I'd love to be laughing at Newcastle.
Trent Barrett.
No,
He's assistant at
He's assistant.
at the Dragons.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. He's waiting till he's fully out of contract with
Do you
Manly.
think Tuvey would be?
Money
Do you think
hungry.
Tuvey would be good at Newcastle?
I don't want.
He's not going to be at Manly. Okay, he's not going to be at Manly.
You don't want
As much
Tuvey
as you
back,
like him.
surely.
Oh, I love Tuvey. CEO. I want him to be CEO of the club.
Well, he's an accountant, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's
it's
got
gotta
a-
be an
he can run the club.
Yeah.
I love Tuvey. I think
Okay.
Tuvey would be a great coach for Newcastle.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. And this was a good game as well. GIO Stadium on Sunday evening, where the Raiders beat the Broncos 26-22.
Yeah. It can
And
be-
honestly, I thought the Broncos were going to come back.
I
with
thought they were going to let it slip.
Yeah.
I really did.
And here's another team. They play for 80 minutes.
Which one?
Raiders.
Sorry, the Raiders.
Right, okay, because the Broncos only came back.
I saw the first half of this game. John Bateman continues to impress, doesn't he?
Well, all 4
He's-
Englishmen are
Oh, for
doing
sure.
really well.
But because he's new to the club,
Yeah.
he's a standout.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was just thinking about that last non-try where John Bateman pulled someone over as they were running through the dying minutes of the game. Oh, it was the most blatant penalty of all. You think the Manly one was bad? This was 10 times.
And
It
they
was a
didn't-
sin bin.
And they didn't give it.
No, they did give it, but he should have been. Did they get? What did he get? Oh, jeez, mine's starting to
No,
slip
I
now.
don't think they go.
He should have been sin binned. It was that bad.
And there's been a number of issues this weekend where professional fouls have been penalised, and all of a sudden we're not sin binning players.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we all agreed, we all got up in arms. Well, I got up in arms earlier in the year when someone was sin binned because it was a head high.
Yep.
And now since then, there hasn't been one.
And maybe they got a bit shy after Adam Fanua-Blake got sin bin. Maybe they just backed off.
Either way, both of these teams had a slower play the ball than Souths, but we won't talk about that because South was terrible. They played the ball.
Yeah, but
He's blown your argument out of the
no,
water.
he hasn't. He hasn't because the coaches come out and said it.
Anyway, let's talk about this game.
Wayne Bennett.
Everybody has come out and said
yes,
it.
yes.
Just because you guys don't know what you're talking
So,
about doesn't mean the rest of us don't.
Ricky's come out this week. Let's talk about the Raiders.
Yeah.
Ricky's come out this week and said that he is no longer babying the team. He felt like he had to baby them over the last couple of years. I don't even know what that means. Like,
No, neither do I. No.
like they're a good team. Come on, he's got him firing. Let him take it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't know what he's. Yeah.
he made the right changes. He got rid of the big hulking forwards,
Yeah.
and now they've got a good mobile pack.
Yep.
I like the way they're playing.
I got to tell you, I really like Leilua.
Mm.
I
for
know
all-
he
for
can
all
do some
his-
silly stuff,
for
but
his-
I tell you
Yeah,
what,
he's in and out of games though. If
I
he
know,
could
but
just
he's a monster
stay
when he
in.
plays.
We didn't want to lose him from the Roosters. I think there was some unsavoury incident that led to him leaving, but
Yep.
he always sees class. He should have had
yeah.
a Blues jersey had he
Yeah.
actually kept his head on straight. He should have had a Blues jersey a long time ago.
yeah, I've got to
Yeah.
say, I really love
that
watching him
that
play.
first try was the first try he scored.
Yeah,
His first.
just power try, just a power
Yeah,
try.
dust was like just off we go over the line.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. It was good to watch.
Very good.
yeah.
It's interesting.
for sure.
It's interesting that they use him well though.
Mm.
Close to
Yeah.
the line,
Yeah.
they bring him in. One in and
Mm.
try and get him 1-on-1 coming in an angle against the fullback.
For
And
sure.
that's always going to work. Always. He's
So
huge.
where's the Broncos? They're now 5-1. Sorry, 1-5.
If you believe Seabold, they're just
They're
in
just-
a building phase.
They're just around the corner.
Okay. And you guys
you-
don't believe that?
Are you
obviously.
glad he's moved on?
No, not at all.
One season wonder. Never thought I'd say that about a coach.
No, look, I would have been more than happy for him to stay because I thought he did a good job. But I think
But did he have a better team to work with?
he had a
last
better
year
team to
than he
work
did
with.
this
You've got to
week?
remember, I mean, South had, they'd won the grand final 2014. Maguire had them still for a couple of years. He took over from Maguire. He still had the crux of a very good team. He's now
Yeah.
gone to the Broncos, which I think overperformed last year, making the semis. The halves fire sometimes and don't fire other times.
Yep.
Their forward pack is very young.
Mm.
And
And they're
he's taken on a bit.
they
Quite a bit.
need an experienced forward and a half. They need
Yeah.
someone to direct stuff around. They still do. Don't care what he says until they get someone who can tell the young blokes where to go.
Well,
They're not going to get anywhere.
I think that he also is going to need to bite the bullet on the halves. The young guy from the Roosters,
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan. I think it's
think
time
he
to
should
bring
be.
him in. They're going to try something
Yeah,
different.
Good try.
they've got him and they've got the other young bloke up in the
Yeah.
reserve grade. They're going great. Just one of them has to come in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Anthony Milford, the fullback, and Darius
Okay.
Boyd back
Right.
onto the wing, but ahead of who? I don't know. I can't see a place for Darius Boyd in the team.
Yeah.
But he's
If
your
you call
captain.
him the captain,
Oh, that's right. Don't worry, Broncos. South has shown you how to do it. Just retire him and give him a job for life.
we're going to talk about that in a minute. Just wait.
Right, well, one
let's
game
talk.
to go.
Let's talk about Bankwest Stadium on Easter Monday, where the Eels beat the Tigers 51-6. Mitchell Moses on the day scores the first try, first conversion, first field goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Brian, this was a big event.
I think that any team that played the Eels today were on a hiding to nothing.
Yeah. without doubt.
It was the moment, there was the emotion.
All the old
They
boys
had
there,
to win, but
Sterling,
you never
Price,
imagined
Kenny.
they would win this much. I thought it'd be
No.
a close one,
No.
and I thought the Eels would probably win on emotion, on atmosphere, and occasion, but nothing.
Well,
like
half
this.
time was 30-6 or something or other.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, it was quite remarkable.
Everything that they did worked today.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they got a massive rub of the green or anything. I don't think. I just think everything worked.
Well, Daniel Alvara was out first tackle.
Yeah. Yep.
They then had someone go down, I think, in the next set after that. Robbie Farrow went down a few sets later, and he was out for the game.
And that's a big loss to the Tigers, no doubt.
Yeah.
But everything they tried today just worked. I've been saying for a while that Michael Jennings has passed his best. He scored 2 tries, and one of them was a great individual try.
Yes.
You keep saying it, Nicky, when he scored 3, then 2, then 2. Far out. Keep saying it, Tom. Keep saying it.
Well, yeah. So
if you're a Parramatta fan, you want Tom to be putting them
Janelle, you must be absolutely over the moon.
Yes, Janelle.
We've got to hear from you on NRL from the Sidelines Facebook site.
Yes. Yeah, look, and, very impressive. The Eels were very impressive.
I thought Mitchell Moses was man of the match.
I'd have to...
Closely followed by Clint Gutherson.
Yeah.
They were both exceptional. And he hates Mitchell Moses, so he won't say it. He hates the Parramatta Eels, so he won't say anything nice about him.
Hey, I can stand up sometimes and say good things about the Roosters when they play well.
When?
I said they played well today.
Yeah, they did play well. They won 51-6.
Never on camera, that's all.
They won 51-6. They played well. What else would you like me to say?
Mitchell Moses played well.
I'm having difficulty.
But
that'd be like you saying Angus Crichton's playing well.
But as we said before the show started, that taking away Norman has probably made a huge difference to Mitchell Moses, because there's no competition for the ball now off the dummy half.
He's a one-man team. He's a hog. We
No,
don't want him in New South Wales.
If he's a hog, geez, he's doing a great job with
He's
his
doing a
hogging
fabulous
ball.
job at 51-6.
Correct.
We don't want him in a Blues jersey, I can tell you that.
It wasn't even
I
a
don't know.
discussion. It wasn't even in discussion.
I'm just throwing it out there because people keep saying he's one of the four.
Okay, so Brad, I know you watch this show.
Brad.
Just Brad Fittler.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're talking about New South Wales, for goodness sake.
Yeah, Freddie. You should have said Freddie. If you said Freddie, I would have got it.
Get with the program.
Brad. No one calls him Brad. He doesn't even sign off on the NRL from the Sidelines website as Brad.
Oh, we got a Smokey there. We don't know about. Okay.
All right.
Okay, it's time for the ladder, gentlemen.
Yes. Okay.
Who would like to do it?
So, am I doing it?
Yeah, you do it,
Okay.
Tom.
All right,
Your team's on top.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
So on equal points, but separated by defensive record only. The Storm are in first with only 73 points conceded. The Roosters on the same number of competition points, same for and against, but a worse defensive record in second.
Actually, that brings up a good question.
Yes.
Are you, as a Roosters supporter, concerned that you've had 102 points scored against you?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, we're still a work in progress.
Okay. Still.
We're going to get better.
Okay.
We're going to get better. Don't worry.
No.
Raiders in third position. The Rabbitohs in fourth. The Eels have risen to fifth position after their great win today. The Dragons in sixth. The Sea Eagles in seventh, still in the eight. Good on them. And the Sharks round out the eight. In ninth position, the West Tigers. 10 Warriors. I don't know how. The Titans in 11, rising. The Panthers hanging in there in 12. Cowboys in 13. The Broncos slipping down to 14th.
How good's that?
Gee, that's a long time since we saw that. The Knights in 15th, and the Dogs, undeservedly, I think, in last position.
Undeserved.
Given their performances, I think they're playing better than the Knights and the Broncos.
Okay. All
Right.
There's a ladder.
Okay.
What have you
Are
got?
we going to talk about Greg Inglis fairly, or are we going to talk
No.
about Greg Inglis like raving lunatics like you've been all week?
For those of you that don't know,
He's a raving lunatic.
Greg Inglis has retired. Now, South bought an injured hack.
Oh, excuse me. They bought him in 2011.
And you signed him to a 3-year deal despite his injuries. Every year Greg Inglis is injured. Knee, shoulder, back, shoulder, knee, shoulder, back, knee. So, this year, Souths have decided, under Wayne Bennett, very smart man Wayne Bennett, let's get rid of Greg Inglis and give him a job for life. Now, apparently, you ready for this? It's not 300,000 now. It's just 200,000.
Correct.
Yeah, because he just wants to be there.
Hang on, but
It's a
have
joke.
have you been involved in the conversations?
All
with Greg
I
Inglis
know-
and the coach?
All I
and the
know
board?
is this. The NRL hasn't rubber stamped
You
it.
don't know anything.
It's across his arms.
You're serious.
I am serious.
Well, I can do it
The
as well.
NRL
I can
haven't
do
rubber
this.
stamped it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, Steve.
Okay.
They can't. It'd be the same now as Anthony. Hang on, what's his name? Seabold up in Brisbane, giving Darius Boyd a tap on the shoulder and saying, "Look, mate, you've had a few injuries.
Yeah, but hang on.
You're on a packet. We're gonna just put you on as backs coach, and we're going to promote someone else.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Every player who retires early, before their contract is finished,
Yep.
take their money.
Yep.
Greg Inglis is not taking his money. What is the difference between Greg Inglis saying, I'm going to retire now and I'm going to not take my money, I'm going to leave now and go and play in England, and I'm still not going to take my money?
Because
we would have the money there to
Because
play.
no one seriously believes, except for you, no one seriously believes that he's going to be worse off.
Of course he's going to be worse
No,
off.
he's not.
He's going to
No,
lose $1.5 million.
Souths will find a way to get him the money. And that's why that the salary cap isn't working for that very reason.
No,
It isn't the question how it impacts the salary cap.
Yeah, of course it is.
And it doesn't impact the salary cap when
and
he
that's
says,
the question
I'm not
you need to
taking my
answer.
money.
Right.
No.
And the question is,
No.
can the Rabbitohs use that money that he will not be receiving for the rest of this season?
He should be able to.
That's right. That's what
and
they're
I'd be
saying.
happy to say less whatever 200,000
No.
or 300,000.
Well, I disagree with that.
Because you know what? Because that's just a number somewhere in the
you're
paper.
Presuming.
No, I'm telling you that he will get paid his full money. I'm saying
You
that
can't
South.
say that. You
Yes,
really
I am. I'm
do.
saying, you know what? If it was the Roosters, you'd be saying it. You'd be saying Uncle Nick in his brown paper bags again. You know what? It's Rusty in his brown paper bags.
Please.
So what
I'm
do you got to say
telling
to
you.
that?
Huh?
What do you got to say to that?
I would never bag the Roosters like that.
I've needed to seek clarification about that whole issue. I personally think that if he's retired, then that money's not available to the salary.
He hasn't. No. He hasn't taken the money. That's the difference.
They're saying he's giving the money back out of
He's
the
not
generosity
taking
of
the
his
money.
heart.
Yeah, then if the NRL has a rule, then they need
They
to stick
don't
to
have
their
a rule.
rule.
That's the thing.
Because
There is rule.
no one's ever done it before. Because no one's ever been as devious as Souths. Not
Right,
even the
let's move on.
Roosters. No. Wait. Because in response to that as well, the NRL have come out with a brainwave that they've posted on their website,
Yes.
where they want players to be given point values rather than dollar values. So you get 1,200, even though it says on their website 200. It's 1,200 points for your top squad of
That's
30.
been touted for a long time, though, hasn't it?
I know, but it's now they're saying that would make the whole Greg Inglis thing fair.
No, the whole Greg Inglis thing is fair because
That's-
it's not taking his money.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying because then you can retire X amount of points out of your salary cap, and then you can bring.
Utilise
It
them.
doesn't matter
So-
who you bring in.
like
So you'd
fantasy
be
league, isn't
okay.
it?
You'd be okay if Greg Inglis said, "Listen, I'm leaving the NRL. I'm going to give my money back to South. I'm not going to take my next year and a half of payments. I'm going to go and play in England." Greg goes and plays in England, plays one game, and says, "No, I've had enough. I'm going to retire." Comes back and takes a job as a South coach. Is that okay?
No,
Why?
because that is not the way that it works.
No.
He's
No.
actually
No.
no. He's signed a contract for the next 2 years.
Yes, but he's not playing for the next 2 years.
Doesn't matter. He signed that contract to play.
Okay.
That money
Is that
has
a
to be
little like
taken
is that a
out.
little like Jared Hayne and Val Holmes having signed contracts and saying, "Well, you can't go anywhere else because that money's tied up."
Well, okay, let's take that. Val Holmes signed up, went overseas.
Yeah.
Obviously, is not going to earn his money over the next 12 months. And they are saying, well, we're going to put his money elsewhere.
That's right, but he's not coming back.
What difference does it make? The guy,
No.
really, do we want to have players like
Well,
Greg
then the
Inglis running
argument
around
too,
injured?
Brian, is that Greg Inglis is not going to perform on the field for them.
Hang on.
And
Yeah,
therefore-
but Cronulla aren't saying, "Gee, Val, you're such a good player. We're just going to give you an under-the-table job to stay around at the club."
But if he-
just like Souths are
Well,
doing.
but why not?
That's what it is.
But why
Yes,
not?
But
That-
he's not going to be performing on the field
But
for
it
them.
doesn't
He's not
matter.
playing the
That's
field.
what the issue
No,
is.
no.
They've got
No.
a bloke who's injured, and they're going to pay him anyway to
Hang
stay
on.
at the club.
But-
It's not fair.
So do you want him?
Who?
Greg Inglis?
If he wants to play for 200,000,
No,
yeah.
no, as a coach. Would you take him as a coach?
No, I don't want him as a coach.
But hang on, but you're okay. You're okay for South not.
I'm
to pay
saying
him
that
as a coach
Souths
as
are
well.
doing it to avoid salary cap.
Oh, they're not.
They
Greg
are
Inglis
so.
is busted.
That's
Honest-
right. Correct.
So he-
My point, viewers.
No,
Greg
no.
Inglis is busted. He can't play.
Exactly, which is why he
The
retired.
guy can't lift his arm above his shoulder.
So why would you
But
want him to
Souths
play?
have signed him to a
what
contract.
Rubbish! You don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
look
As
who's
usual.
talking.
I am torn between both of you on this
Well,
issue. So
You just keep your splinters.
yeah, on this one, I can see both sides. Of
All
the
right,
story,
okay.
so.
Let's move on to round 7.
Didn't even get to my point that I wanted to make about points, but
And the
anyway.
good news-
Well, make it very
Doesn't
quick.
matter.
Okay.
Keep going. Bring it up next week.
And the good news is, there's only 2 days before the next round starts.
Oh, yes,
Isn't that
how
good?
good is that?
Duly.
Isn't that good?
Okay, on Thursday, the 25th of April, Anzac Day, where the Roosters will play the Dragons at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Yes, should be a great game. Pity about the venue, but should be a great game. A great atmosphere. It's a wonderful. I don't, if you guys
It is.
lately been to an Anzac Day game,
No.
Why?
Just the atmosphere is sensational.
Yeah, I'd rather go.
I mean, before the game even,
Why?
just being there and just celebrating.
Yeah, no, I could imagine it would be.
It's a wonderful occasion, and you know these two teams now have got enormous history, and it's just a different attitude that they have on that particular day compared to other days. You know, it's just wonderful.
I tell you, I'm a little bit. Now you're going to ask who Steve is going to win this game. Who?
Am I going to ask
You're going to ask that.
You're asking
and my question.
Right, who's going to win this game?
My question right back at you is Luke Keary playing? Because
I believe he is.
he copped the head knock,
Yes, he did.
and then he went back on and guided
No,
the
he
team
didn't
around
go.
the.
He
No,
did
he
not
didn't
go
go
on
back
back
on.
on.
Didn't he?
If
No.
you actually watch the game, you'll realise that
I wasn't
he did
paying
not
that
go
much
back
attention to Luke Keary.
He
Let me just
didn't
tell you.
play again. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
And personally, I
our
don't think that's
question
the
with-
worst head knock he's had. So.
No, and
Yeah,
they are
Roosters are off
questioning
the
whether
hook.
he'll come back, but he'll play. There's no
Jake
doubt.
Friend apparently is back. There's a chance that Brett Morris will be back. Siwa Takiaho, they're saying, will be back. So we could be near full strength if Luke Keary plays. That will be wonderful because we haven't had a full strength team all season. Well, maybe round one, but no, we didn't have Jake Friend for round one.
Yeah, you haven't
So
used your
this
$12
could be
million
possibly
salary
our
couple years.
first full strength team,
Correct.
which would be great.
Yeah, no, I agree with
You
you.
didn't hear what he said.
I didn't hear it, so what did you say? Sorry, I was actually making sense, but what did you
No,
say?
you weren't. Steve was making sense.
And the Dragons?
You have to tell me later. I have to watch this show to listen to it.
The Dragons. You know, Tom kept sending me messages. Hurt them, bruise them.
I wouldn't say something like that, Barry. Never.
I think the Dragons Manly game was very, very physical,
Yes.
and it's a short turnaround for both teams. But I think that might actually hurt the Dragons.
Okay, so
And I would never want that. I would
you're
never
going
wish that on
Roosters?
them.
This is if Keary plays, I'm going the Roosters because I think he's going to make that much difference.
No brainer.
Dragons, then.
You really want to go to the Dragons, don't you?
I really do want to go to the Dragons.
So close
I really
to
do
going
want
the
to go to the
Dragons.
Dragons. Because I'm not sure that the Roosters can play that well as they did last week. But, look,
your money-
look,
put
I've
your
got to
money on
say, right now, if I have to pick, I'm leaning towards the Roosters.
The Roosters would have to blow them off the park because if it gets down to a tight game, I'm actually more inclined to go the Dragons.
The Dragons are playing better 80-minute football at the moment than we are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's right, because, you know, Roosters got out to 20-0 lead and then let Melbourne come back. But you know what? They probably wouldn't have let any other team come back.
But
Melbourne
they
can come
but
back.
they were playing a number of good players down and still held them out for 30 minutes. And I think that's a telling statistic.
Okay, so, all right. Before we move on to the next one, so can everyone go onto Facebook and tell them whether I'm right or Brian's right? Because I think he's wrong.
About what?
English.
You should mention when you add the show in, put it in the topic line.
I will.
Listen to this and tell me what you think. There you go. Right.
Okay, let's move on to another one on Thursday, which is Storm against the Warriors at Amy Park.
Another traditional Anzac Day game.
Yes. And does anybody think the Warriors can win this one?
No.
Yes.
What? No. They've got a good record. And the other
Did you
question
get hit
is
in my head somewhere along
the
line?
other question about this, and I've said this before. Why are the Warriors not hosting this game? Because it always traditionally is played at Amy Park, and I think that's unfair.
Well, I just think that's the way it's worked out. I don't know.
It's the same with the Dragons. They always used to play at Allianz, even with an away game, and that seems unfair too.
No. But at Allianz holds a lot more than what Cogra or Lynch
I
Stadium
understand
does.
the reasoning, but
You know-
but I just think that the odds are against them.
I mean, let's face it. This is going to be a 30+. Well, it's going to be the SCG, so I'm not sure how many. But usually this would be a 30+ thousand.
Yeah.
Attendance. So
Well, Storm only holds 20, I think.
yeah, but it'll be packed. It'll be packed.
Yeah, with Storm supporters.
So Brian, you're going the Warriors. Are you talking to someone or?
No,
are you
no.
paying attention?
I'm trying to get the. Tom's internet is so bad in this shed. It's not funny.
Thanks for that, Brian.
You mean this set?
This
This Fox Studio set?
Fox Studio set.
Excuse me, we're not Fox Studios.
Jeez, we
Channel 9?
We do a way better job than
No,
Fox
no,
and
we're
Channel 9.
independent.
Okay, now independent studios.
All right, hang on a second. Bringing it up now.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking at the history of the last few games between these teams.
Okay.
Oh, Melbourne by 50. Oh, Melbourne by...
We really don't have time to sit here and move.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
this,
no, we
is like,
don't.
this is like Gogglebox. People are sitting there watching us. Look at
Look, I'm tempted to go the Warriors, but if they had beaten the Cowboys well, I would probably go them, but I'm not brave enough to.
So he's basically
No.
said what we said
Yeah,
and wasted 2 minutes of our time.
There's only 2 minutes. Okay, let's move on to Friday, where the Bulldogs are playing the Cowboys at ANZ Stadium.
Dogs.
Yeah, look, I think the Dogs
Really?
are
Don't waste time.
I think the Dogs... I think the Dogs are doing enough to win this game. Yeah.
Cowboys for me.
Cowboys, that's funny.
It's so predictable.
I think the Dogs will be laying all over the Cowboys again, but anyway.
Now, this should be an interesting game.
Friday, the 26th of
I
April,
think.
where the Panthers are playing the Rabbitohs at Panthers Stadium.
Rabbitohs.
Danger game. Danger game
Yeah,
for
I
you.
think so too.
I think
No.
so. Danger game for you.
For who? Why?
The Panthers have got to put something
the
together
Panthers are going to
sometime.
come good somewhere.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
I
Like,
think-
it's just like saying Brisbane's going to come good somewhere.
Well,
they're
and I've
not.
got to tell you, it's interesting because after this one, South the weekend after play the Broncos, so they're going to come good sometimes too. So
Ooh.
So is that the magic round?
no,
Wouldn't it be good if they both came good against Souths?
no,
That
it
would
wouldn't be
interesting.
good at all.
I'm
No.
tempted to tip the Panthers in this game only because I think that the Rabbitohs aren't travelling that well, and the Panthers, I think, it's do or die with the Panthers.
No.
Honestly,
The Rabbitohs aren't travelling well. They're sitting in equal first.
doesn't mean they're travelling well.
And,
It means a whole lot of teams below them are doing worse.
yeah, like the
It's
Panthers.
all relative.
But hang on, they're equal with the Roosters, so are you saying the same about the Roosters?
Oh, I think the Roosters are playing better than the Rabbitohs.
But they're equal. And we
Yeah,
beat,
but
and the Rabbitohs
your position on the
beat you in
table-
game
The
one.
position on the
do we
table
know this is
doesn't
gonna
dictate
happen?
how you're playing. I don't think. Depends on your opposition.
So, Rabbitohs,
Oh, for sure.
Panthers,
I'm leaning that way.
I'm going the Bunnies. Okay, let's move on to Scully Park, where the West Tigers will play the
Scully
Titans.
Park. Do we know where Scully Park is?
Scully Park, Tamworth, I think.
Right. Okay.
Brad will let us know.
I want to go Tigers, but they got smacked.
I know. No.
And the Titans won comfortably.
I'm going to declare the bounce back on this one, and the Tigers are going to come out and they will smash the Tigers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to go the Tigers.
I'll go with you on that one.
Tigers, not
Tigers. No,
Titans.
Tigers.
Unanimous. We're all going the Tigers, but I'm only doing it because Steve told me.
Michael Maguire is too good a coach to let them get smashed again.
Yep.
You right there, eh?
Yeah, I just think that's a funny comment.
Okay, Suncorp Stadium on Saturday will be the Broncos against the Sharks.
Sharks.
Broncos for me.
Again, another one I find
Don't.
hard to.
Don't
Make
sit
a
on the
choice. We need you to split. For the viewers out there, we've gone Broncos, Sharks. You need to be the voice of reason. What am I saying? It's
Which
Tom.
means you're an idiot.
Yeah, forget it.
Basically.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say something intelligent until you said that.
I think the Broncos might just win this by a point or
Broncos.
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at Suncorp Stadium too.
Yeah, I know that the Broncos are better up there. But
They were
no.
improved this week.
Yeah, and look, I'm not overly convinced on the Sharks. I'm still not convinced on the Sharks.
But the Broncos are coming third last.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I like how you say that. I'm not convinced about them, but the team that they're playing is coming at the footstool of the ladder.
Because I think potentially the Broncos can offer more than what the Sharks can.
We'll see. I want to see Jimmy the Jet up against young Bronson Cherry. I think that'd be a race.
Let's go to Sunday, the 28th of April, where the Raiders will smash.
yeah.
Where the Raiders play the Sea Eagles at Lotto Land.
You're going to be full of hate again, are you?
At Lotto Land.
Again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're always full of hate when it comes
It's
to
Lotto
Manly.
Land. It's Lotto Land.
It is fantastic. Best stadium in
sorry.
Australia.
The Raiders will beat the Eagles by 16 points.
16.
16.
Wow. Look, it was a
So
tough.
Fanua Blake's not back, is he?
No.
No, that's a shame.
Look, tough game against the Dragons this week, but they'll come back against the Raiders. At Brookvale, I'll go Manly.
I'm impressed with the Raiders at the moment. I'm sorry, I can't go.
You're
Manly.
impressed with everybody except for Manly, so I don't care what you say.
No. I've picked Manly in other times.
When?
Some other weeks.
No, you haven't.
I'll find it and let you know.
The Raiders let in 22 points this week. So I'm leaning to the Seagulls at home. I think Seagulls are showing a lot of heart.
I'm not saying they're not.
At the Fortress. We want to make it the Fortress again.
Oh, the Fortress, okay. All right, and the last one on Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock will be the Knights against the Eels
I
at
want to see whether Steve picks the bounce back.
McDonald Jones Stadium.
Bounce back, Steve. Go on, dare ya.
Eels.
They didn't get beaten by enough to claim a bounce back.
Eels.
Hang on, what did they lose by?
Who?
What did the Knights lose by last week?
38-12.
38-12.
Oh,
26.
It's only 26. That's not enough to bounce back from.
So there's a 40, 45, 26. There's a 70. There's a 75 point difference between
Wow.
the two teams this week.
You've bagged me out all week.
Absolutely.
All year
Yep.
when I've packed Parramatta because you say they're not playing well, they've beaten nobody, blah, 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 blah. So now I've backed the Eels to beat the Knights and you're agreeing with me.
Yeah. The look,
Hypocrisy much?
excuse me. The Eels have only beaten one team in the top 8. No, they haven't beaten any teams in the top 8.
Tigers are in the top 8.
Don't know whether that counts.
So you know the 8 doesn't actually matter unless it matters
That's right,
to
yeah.
Brian.
Exactly.
Excuse me. They've only beaten one team. Tigers are not in the top 8. I'll have you know they're sitting at 9th.
Well,
Just
they
so you
were.
know.
They were last week.
So they've only beaten one team in the top 8.
It's
So
been a long show.
Until
I don't think they're playing well. So no, but I'm still going to pick them to kill the Knights. They on current form they should put 50 on them.
You're backing Eels to beat the Knights.
It leaves a foul taste in my mouth, but yes.
How many
I'm
minutes is the
picking
show now?
Eels.
I think we're about 200 and something.
Oh, it's 40 minutes of Brian. So,
Yeah, I know. 57 minutes. Time to
40
end
minutes.
it.
Voice of reason. The voice of reason says pick the Eels this week. If you're in a knockout comp, pick the Eels to beat the Knights.
Okay, Tom,
Yeah, I'm going the Eels. Yeah.
you're going the Eels. So we're all going the Eels, and we've just argued about this for 10
I
minutes,
I
but we're all going the Eels.
I just sat and watched.
Oh, you did it to me. Right.
Okay, gentlemen, we've got to bring the show to an end.
Got anything intelligent to say? Probably not. Go Manly.
Is that it? That's all you got?
Anzac Day should be an absolute cracker. Great
Yes.
event, great atmosphere, great occasion, and
Are you going?
excellent. Oh yes, yeah.
You're going to be the
it's a
NRL
home-
on the sideline stand?
Yes, it's a home game for us, but we actually had to what do you call that when you redeem your tickets? So we had to actually do it through Ticketek. So if it didn't, we wouldn't have got a seat this year.
That's because you're SCG.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay, well that
Brendan
brings the
and
show
I-
to an end. Gentlemen,
Yes.
thank you very much for
Okay.
this week, and we'll do it all again next week.
Lovely
Thank
seeing
you,
you.
bye-bye.
We don't
Bye.
kill each other first.